Hello everyone, my name is Barbara Choksima. I'll be taking you through the presentation. It's Fairfax Mall Redevelopment, a comprehensive market analysis for that redevelopment. Fairfax Mall is located in Fairfax County in Virginia. As you see on the Google Earth location, it's at the intersection of Interstate 66 and US Route 50. The mall is at a distance of 33.5 kilometers and 35 minutes drive from Washington. The site conditions assessment. The site, as you can see on Google Earth, has access all around the mall, which is a 360 degrees accessibility to the property. It is visible from Interstate 66 and US Route 50. There are no pedestrians and bicycle transits around the site. So therefore, the best way to access the site is through driving to the site. According to the zoning details from Fairfax County, the Fairfax Mall is in C7 Regional Retail Commercial District. And with that comes with the fact that there is a planned metro station within 0.5-mile radius of the station of the site. The maximum of 0.8 floor area ratio and an increment of only up to 1.0 floor area ratio is allowed on this development. What are the physical conditions of the Fairfax Mall? It's approximately 109.5 acres in its size. The building itself has 1.557,000 square feet and has wheelchair accessibility. Around the building, we see that water and the sewer are connected and there is no conflict between those services. And there are presence of water ponds around the mall, but maybe that's also a question of how is the stormwater managed on the site. So let's dive into the office analysis of this location. When we see the mall, we know it has a regional presence in Northern Virginia. So therefore, the regional office analysis is the following. We have 157 million square feet of office space in Northern Virginia according to the Avison Young 2023. 1.2 million square feet of the office space is under construction, but mainly in Reston and Tyson. And they are only doing Class A office with high quality amenities. So that's where the demand is going. So when we come to Fairfax County office analysis, we see that the vacancy rate stood at 16.7%, and the direct asking rate per square foot for office space is 25.79. The average rental rate per square foot is 30.55. So this shows that the direct asking rate is lower than the average, meaning landlords are asking for lower rent than the average rate in the area, meaning that there is low demand for offices in Fairfax, where Fairfax Mall is located. So the demand for offices is within the 30 minutes drive, and we see that the population within that is of labor force according to a survey. So meaning that the people in 92% of the population in Fairfax or above 16 years are able to work. But the question is, where are they working from? From within Fairfax County or from outside Fairfax County? So, but within 30 minutes, they can reach their workplace. Then on the supply side, there is no office development under the Fairfax County, even also under the major developments that are in pipeline. There is no major development except for only Ox Hill companies which obtain approval and is yet to start this March 2024. And with it also comes the 8,584 square feet for medical offices and 10,079 square feet for general offices. So we see that even those that are bringing offices, they are bringing specific offices like medical office. So let's look at the residential analysis. So the primary market for residential is still within the 30 minutes drive from Fairfax Mall. So the population of Fairfax has 0.24 annual growth rate, which is very slow. Then we have a median household income of $145,165. Unemployment rate is 2.5% in Northern Virginia, which is lower than the national unemployment rate according to the real page. But then, which is a good thing because that means the population in Fairfax they get employment. The occupancy rate is 95.7%, and the effective rate per unit is 2,174 according to Newmark third quarter 2023. The median home price in Fairfax County for March 2023 is 615,000, representing a year-over-year increase of 3.4. So meaning that as the homes prices are increasing, so there is demand for housing in Fairfax. There is employment, so people can afford the homes. As we see, the median household income is that people can afford to buy the homes, except for issues with interest rates and inflation. But apart from that, there is ability to buy homes within Fairfax. The supply of residential analysis. In 2021-2022, 800 new units of housing were added into the county. According to Newmark Multifamily Reports, third quarter 2023, we see that 11,656 units are under construction, with neighboring centers like Preston, Tyson, and South Fairfax having 1,255, 1019, and 366 units under construction, respectively. So, and then we also see that according to Fairfax County Consolidated Plan for the year 2022, the county faced housing deficit of more than 37,500 rental occupied and 26,385 owner occupied that are affordable to individuals and families with low income. So there we see that there is need for affordable housing within Fairfax County, and therefore redeveloping Fair Oaks Mall, they could look at also including affordable housing in their development. In comparison with similar developments, we see the Moxley Apartments, Vista Fairfax Corner, Preserve at Westfields, which have limited retail, but the biggest percentage of the development is housing, meaning, and they are at 95.7% occupancy. So meaning that there is demand for housing and there is room for constructing more housing in relation to the absorption rate. So we now look at the retail market analysis. The trade market area we have now for retail is now 10 minutes drive. And we know that the median household income is 145,165 per household. So there is demand for retail, but let's look deep into what's happening. We already saw that the population is growing but slowly according to from the last slides that we have. So we have to evaluate we forecast what's to happen. So retail sales in the target market currently, we see the consumer spending and also the forecasted demand in future. And then we see that the most constant demand is with food and beverages. So we compare to the existing retail center in proximity to Fair Oaks Mall. We have Fair Lakes Shopping Center, which has 1 million square feet, and it also has shops like Target, and there is also Fair Oaks Corner, which has 300,000 square feet. They have Fairfax Town Center, which has 253,392 square feet in retail property. So when we look at the trade area markets for these people, we see that they share the market given where they are all located. So therefore, for retail, it might be that demand is low according to seen. So we look at the capture rate evaluation. The same sites that we mentioned before are the same sites I'm using for capture rate evaluation because they all have the GAFO, food and beverages, and NGS goods. So we see that the estimated capture rate for GAFO is 1%, NGS is 15%, and food and beverage is 13%. The real estate market that Fair Oaks Mall can support is 10,996 for GAFO, 210,000 for food and beverages, and 100,537 for NGS. So let's look at the impact of the mixed uses. Mixed use development, to be successful, each type of use has each types of use marketability should be able to stand on its own, i.e. the retail should be evaluated on its own, office on its own, and residential on its own, so that we see that if they are marketable, then you can only put them together in the proportion of which they are marketable. And then we also have to look at the compatibility and if they are mutually supporting, thus bringing synergies to one another. So let's look at the mixed use development. We have retail and residential. Now, for residential occupants, they would wish to go to sell groceries, which is near them, so which reduces transport costs. So that can be a synergy. When it comes to retail and office, you find office employees want to have a restaurant next to them, so which will enable them to have during the day to be able to move and have all the amenities they need to be able to work efficiently. And then when you look at office and residential, the two might only be compatible for startups, probably those who want to minimize costs and want to stay next to their offices. But these two are not, so to say, mutually supportive to one another because their target market can be totally different, especially depending on the location. Then we have retail, office, and residential. So that can create a community, but we have to add on recreational items that can help someone enjoy wholly all parts of lives, live, work, and play in the same place. It's crucial to note that integration of amenities for these uses is is, is crucial, especially walkways, swale, and name it, so that they work efficiently to support the mixed use. The only competition Fair Oaks Mall has is the upcoming mixed use at Peterson's Company, located in Fair Oaks Mall. And they still also have a high vacancy rates for retail and office, except for house. So what do I conclude? Yes, Fair Oaks Mall is a very good location, but has a challenge with accessibility and zoning restrictions. Then when it comes to office, there are high vacancy rates, in addition to preferences for small and yet efficient offices, especially after the pandemic. Then you also see that there's demand for Class A office with high quality amenities. And for residential, there is demand for housing and it's high. And if Fair Oaks Mall can add affordable housing, then it's good to go. Then low supply of housing surely is there, so there's opportunity to develop more units. For retail, GAFO is in low demand due to the e-commerce that has prevailed after the pandemic. The NGS require high quality space, and food and beverages, there's still competition from the neighboring retail. So it has to compare that trade market. So in general, for Fair Oaks Mall to boom, it needs to get a transit-oriented development that accommodates walking pedestrians and cycles. Mixed-use development should be vibrant. Class A offices should have quality amenities, and the most should be the biggest percentage should go to housing, and in case include affordable housing. Retail should tend to food and beverages and NHC and a few showrooms for GAFO. We see the percentages as located: 25 for retail, office 15, and 60 for residential. Thank you for listening. God bless you.